Yo, it's ODB from OLP, and this is a look at Mike Kaufman's OBS Chevy that appeared on the premiere issue number 1 of Street Trucks, but also in this very rare magazine from Japan. You see there, March 2000, upper right corner, you see Mike Kaufman's OBS Chevy. I want to do a look at this feature and a couple of photos that are in this awesome magazine. Now, I hinted before, I think when I received this issue, that I had been looking for 20 years. I had bought a stack of them, and I think I went through and maybe did the covers, and some of you, at least one of you, chimed in and said, hey, I've never heard of Kal magazine. It's kind of a magazine that I think it's hard to sum up. It really ties into, the California culture. I think everything from, you see a VW Bug, OBS, mini trucks, garages, everything that's awesome about really the lifestyle, or in our case, we say, our lifestyle. But what I wanted to do is look at the feature. This won't be super long, but of course I wanted to point out this is the same truck that was on issue 1, or also known here as the premiere issue of Street Trucks back in August of 1999. So shout out to Mike Kaufman. We'd love to have him on the podcast in the future. Now, one thing that I'll point out about these issues, and I may go over more in the future, is the binding is on the right side. So for all accounts, you see this is what I believe to be the front of the magazine. I'll show you what appears to be on the back, of course, right? But if, this is typically in America how we would open these issues. But these are backwards, I guess, by American standards. I don't mean that as a disrespect, but that's just the way these are. I do know that I was looking at Truck Trends just a few minutes ago as well. Truck Trends ended up turning into Custom Trucks Mag, or CTM, both out of Japan. They open the opposite way. So these issues, at least in this time, opened this way. Now, I do hope to go through more of these in the future, but enough talking, which I love to do. Let's jump right in before I lose you guys. So in this issue, I'm only going to highlight the Kaufman feature. Now, this photo here isn't part of the feature. It just says American Example, or X, Kal Magazine Presents. And it was like an alternate cover, I guess. American Customs, Muscle Cars, so on and so forth, what you see there. But when I had Rick Bentley on from our Customs, who helped work on this truck at some point, we know Jendro did as well. A lot of people, Kal Concepts, including K-Daddy. You can see Kal Concepts right here. When we had Rick Bentley on, he had shared a couple of photos with me, and that's what I used, I think, for his cover art for that episode, which included, I think, this one. But you can see here a very cool photo. I mean, I love when magazines do detailed stuff like this. This was a whole page, again, that could have been a spin-off of maybe what the cover would have been, but you see just the detail of the Kal Concepts paint job with the caddy tail lights there. And of course, this truck is still in existence. However, this paint job is long gone. We've documented more than anyone the history of this truck. And although I know Mike Kaufman may end up seeing this, shout out to Mike, we have tagged Mike on Instagram with a lot of the history of it. I know he's not super active there, but it at least allows you to go and look at the tagged photos and or videos to, see kind of the curation, if you will. Now, I'm going to flip over here, and we're going to take a look. This is the feature. So in these issues, a lot of 2-page features, and this feature is super sick, in my opinion. You basically have the same title, if I remember correctly, as Street Trucks, which was Syndicate of Style, which is an awesome name that ties into, of course, Kal Concepts, and then Air Syndicate painted it. We know from having Craig Fraser on, he gave the background on, the whole Air Syndicate naming that he used. But this is such an awesome photo, in my opinion. You really see the 94 Chevy in terms of the detail and the paint. And then you've got, of course, the nice blur in the background. Whoever shot this really did a great job. And it's hard for me to tell because it is in Japanese. So if anybody in Japan happens to send this to a homie or let me know who shot it, I'd be happy to update it. But you also see, obviously, trends. Shout out to DeBerti. You just see the detail in the grill. I mean, those grills were so awesome. Really nothing else like it in terms of just how nice they looked with the quality of the billet aluminum. But you also then have, you know, for a 2-page feature, there's a lot of content in here. And you have the engine bay, which we know was super detailed. We know the chassis was detailed, but look at the paint there. And then you have the Paradox wheels, Colorado Custom. Shout out to Michael and team. You see all the detail there. Just a truly, I mean, we hear this sometimes with movies and just some hot rods and things like that. But I mean, this one is definitely 100% ahead of its time. It just was insane. You know, the whole box behind the cab with the House of Color logo painted, the wheels looking just awesome. And ironically, today is the time of this filming is July 3rd, 2023, the same day 38 years ago that Back to the Future came out. BTTF came out on July 3rd, 1985. And ironically enough, the working undercover name title, I've said this before, was Paradox. I think that was the code name. They still do that, you know, use a code name, but you know, that was kind of the code name of the movie so that the title didn't leak out back in those days from what I've read. So ironically enough, that popped in my head for some reason. But again, I wanted to show you guys this, and if you do like this, I mean, it's a little bit shorter, just a highlight of the feature itself. I will intend to do more of these. You know, I'm a collector of these magazines in general. But, you know, to be able to showcase a feature that maybe not everybody's seen, to me is pretty awesome. So let me know what you think in the comments. I mean, again, this has to go down as one of the baddest built. I mean, you think about it, this was 25 years ago. It debuted at SEMA maybe 98. I'm not 100% sure on what show it debuted at, but I know I have video of it at SEMA 98. And what's pretty cool, and I've shared that video in the past, the wheel in the bed is not in there, so you get to see all of the Kal Concepts Air Syndicate paint, which is just awesome. But again, hopefully you guys appreciate this. Kal magazine, hard to find, March 2000. Shout out to Mike Kaufman and Syndicate Minis. All of those guys still doing the damn thing out there in Killicali. You guys have built some cool stuff over the years. Major props. Subscribe and stay on the rise, y'all. Syndicate of Style. We out ya. Peace.